everyone, I'm Sarah and I blog and vlog over at This Mama Life, and today for Netmums I'm going to be sharing my top tips to stop supermarket tantrums. We've all been there, we've all dealt with it at some point or another, so we're going to come up with some really great tips to try and help you next time it happens. So the first tip is to make sure that they've had a nap and that they've been fed, because I know myself, if I'm hungry or angry or tired, then the supermarket is probably the last place I want to be. So it's kind of the same with your kids as well. I often get really worried if one of them falls asleep in the car on the way there and I have to wake them up when we get there. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to go well. But the best thing to do is just time your trip around their nap times and then either give them their lunch or whatever it is beforehand or give them a snack in the car. The second tip is to keep it interesting. Like I said, I find food shopping incredibly boring. My husband loves it, but I don't. So I get where kids are coming from when they just cannot be bothered and are playing up because they're bored. What I try to do is make sure they both have a toy with them. I kind of keep them involved in the whole thing. I chat to them, I point out things, we try and laugh about things, and then I get them to help me out with like choices. So I'll pick up, I don't know, a packet of red grapes and green grapes and get them to decide, or 2 different types of yogurt or something like that, just so they feel like they're involved and it keeps their little minds occupied. Tip number 3 is to get them to write down all the things that they want while you're going around the supermarket, because you know what kids are like, you're going around and they're like, ooh, I like that, I want that, I like that, I want that. And one of the biggest tantrum triggers is when you say no to everything or you deny them whatever they're asking for. I'm not saying you need to give them everything, that's definitely not the best way to deal with things, but maybe if you had a bit of paper, if your child's old enough, or if they're not, you can do it for them, but you have a bit of paper and every time they point at something or say something, you write it down instead of being like, oh no, you can't have that, or just shoving it in the trolley. Then when you get to sort of the end of your shopping trip, take the list, pick sort of the 2 or 3 healthier items, and then maybe get them to pick one of them and then just go with that. Tip number 4 is to avoid the toy aisle or any sort of aisle that interests children at all costs. Sometimes as soon as a child sees something, their mind's fixated on it and that's all they want, and there's nothing you can do to stop them having the biggest meltdown when you say no. So sometimes it's best just to walk a different way or avoid it altogether. Tip number 5, and this is one I do quite a lot, is give them something to look forward to. So sometimes when we go shopping, there's often magazines right at the front, so I let Isla choose between them, but I don't give it to her there and then. I let her choose one of them and I say, right, well when we get back around you can pick that up and give it to the lady and we can pay for it at the end. But if you misbehave or if you shout or scream, then you won't be getting it. So it's kind of like a thing you can use the whole way around to make sure that they stay happy. The next tip is to have a list and be really quick. I think when you're shopping with kids, that's the key. It's making it as quick and painless as possible. And if you don't actually know what you're in for and you're going up and down aisles a few times or going back to get stuff and making the process longer, then you're giving yourself more time for the kids to start playing up. So if you have a list and you just do it all as quick as you can, then hopefully you minimize the chance of a tantrum. And the last tip is that they just happen sometimes. I've got a 3-year-old, so we are right in the midst of tantrum age, and sometimes it'll be nothing at all will set her off. So sometimes you just have to go with it. So when it hits, don't get worked up, ignore everyone else, stay calm, speak calmly, maybe take a few steps back, don't go out of their sight because obviously that'll make it worse. Sometimes you just have to give them a minute, let them tire themselves out, and once they've calmed down, often they will be sorry about what's happened because it's an emotional thing and sometimes they can't actually control it. So give them a cuddle, maybe explain why they shouldn't have done it, and then try and move on and get out the shop as soon as possible. So those are my top tips for dealing with a tantrum in a supermarket. Hope you found some helpful tricks and tips, and remember, you're not alone. I'm pretty sure that every mum and dad has experienced some sort of meltdown in a public place at one point or another. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to Netmums, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!